Well, it's that time of my life again, the super special time that only happens once every 7 or so years where all of us gamers can come together and look ahead at the prospects of the new hardware and gaming and all that. It's so exciting. Let me just go on Reddit real quick. I've never really understood the console wars, which is, of course, what everybody says when they fully understand the console wars. They are somewhat of a baffling thing in some ways, like, you know, you'd think people just want to play fun games and that's it, and yeah, they are super frustrating. You know, it's hard to try to look at both options and genuinely discuss the pros and cons about each, only to have someone shove teraflops or an SSD down your throat. But let's be real, the reasons the console wars exist all make perfect sense. Brand loyalty, it's how the mind works. You want to justify your purchase. People can often only afford one console, so they have to make sure theirs is the best to feel good about themselves. It all makes sense. But before you've even bought the console, I was in early high school when the PS4 and Xbox One released, and I definitely remember the console wars back then, but not like this. Maybe it was because we were all dumb kids with no jobs and no money, so mostly we just continued the argument of PS3 versus 360.
Can you name all of the countries that border the United States? South America?
I mean, if you were able to get a next-gen console, you were like a god. Everybody wanted to know about them, and while there was the occasional outcry that the PS4 was going to be the worst thing since the PS3, in general, everyone just seemed to be excited. To be young again. But alas, it's not how it works anymore. Now we all have jobs and pitiful amounts of money and lives. Somewhat. You've been working hard and steadily earning that money, so you better make sure that what you spend it on is the best piece of tech so you can see all your FIFA players in 8K glory or something. And so, a war breaks out. In one corner, you've got the Playboys, who are Sony all the way. You can generally recognize them from the dead look in their eyes from getting 1,200 platinum trophies. In the other corner, though, you've got the Xbots, who are even easier to point out in a crowd because they're literal robots. Now, of course, I'm just messing around. Both sides have their advantages and their disadvantages. They're good and they're bad. And even though, yeah, I mean, I do have my preference, ultimately, I just want to play good games no matter where they're at. As you can see, though, a lot of people don't seem to agree with that. Right now, the thing I'm seeing the most is the argument of the Series X's 12 teraflops versus the PlayStation 5's ultra-fast SSD. And everyone and their grandmother seems to do nothing but explain how their chosen system's architecture is better than the others over and 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 over. Can we just, like, be patient, please? As of recording this, we'll know more about the PlayStation 5 pretty dang soon, and the Xbox Series X is on July 12th. We're gonna know very soon basically all the details that there is to know. I mean, if you really want to go to war, at least make it timely. Again, I'm joking. I don't really want to encourage any of that kind of stuff. The console wars are dumb. It's not dumb to have a preference, but saying that your preference is the end-all, be-all, objective best console is pretty dumb. Especially when you've never even seen the damn thing. I myself am a PlayStation fan, and I don't really have an issue admitting that. I grew up hogging my older brother's PlayStation 2, and the first console I ever purchased for myself was a used PlayStation 3 in 2012. I have never been disappointed with their lineup of games, and while that may have been the case had I bought that PlayStation 3 back at its launch,
$599 US.
So here's this giant enemy crab.
I can at least say that with the PlayStation 4 that I bought near launch, I've been on board the whole way. Mostly I can just say that the PlayStation 4 has provided me with the gaming experience that I personally live for. Large, big-budget, single-player adventure games, indie games that are made physically for really PlayStation and Switch, and that's it. And the Switch didn't exist for a bit there, so that kind of stuff, having physical copies galore, love it. For what I want, PlayStation 4 is just kind of a better experience, and I generally trust that PlayStation 5 is going to continue that trend. However, that's just one side of the story. I'm a PlayStation gamer in a sea of Xbox fans. My brothers, my best friends, 35 million other people. I do see the other side quite often, and honestly, I cannot argue against it. As much as I want to say, please, for the love of God, buy PlayStation 4 and Horizon Zero Dawn, please! The investment just isn't worth it to everyone. My brother, for instance, will probably never buy a PlayStation console again just because of Game Pass. Xbox provides something more in line with what he wants from a gaming experience. He's not much of a physical collector, so he doesn't really care about any of that stuff. He's also relatively okay with missing out on some pretty dang good games because, I mean, it's not like he has any shortage of things to play due to Game Pass. And just as I think the PS5 will continue to give me the same experience that I crave, well, so too does he think that the Series X will give him exactly what he wants. But I'm kind of going on a tangent here just talking about console wars in general. My biggest point here is that we don't even know! The consoles aren't out yet, and more than that, we don't know basically anything about them. We do know a small number of details, but the vast majority of those details, including a lot of stuff about the overall user experience, as well as, games, we don't know anything about. The launches of both consoles look like they're going to be awesome. Both companies seem to have corrected their handful of mistakes, or are trying to. It's yet to be seen, but it looks like they're both going to be coming out of the gate swinging, and I love that. But you should probably wait and see before you bet your third child on. We'll find out all of that stuff soon. Not that it makes sense to go start spreading hate around once we know, I'm just saying we don't know. Look, console wars are dumb. There's absolutely no reason to go spread hate around to a console manufacturer or fans of that console manufacturer. At the end of the day, you're not going to achieve anything, and it really does not matter. And it's especially stupid when we hardly know anything about the consoles or the games that are coming yet. And I know that everybody watching this knows that, but... And I just realized that everyone watching this already knows all that.